Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today and great to have you with me. So today we are looking at yes/no answers to whatever question you have to ask. The short answer will be a yes or a no, and then I will give you detailed information as to where things are at, where they have been in the past, and where they are going into the future. So guiding information that supports the yes or the no. Now, if you would like to go down below and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am and what it is that I do right there. On the screen, we've got 4 different cards to choose from, and the idea is to choose a card that resonates with you really clearly. Once you've made that choice, that will be your reading. It's fine to choose more than one card if it comes through really strongly for you today. And remember, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. We've got card 1, 2, 3, and 4. Taking a moment to be with the cards, drawing in a nice deep breath, and as you release the breath, listening to your intuition, your inner voice, and the energy of the cards. Which of these comes through for you the strongest? Is it card 1, 2, 3, or 4? Down below, there are 4 different timestamps representing each of these different cards. If you would like to go to the one that you've chosen, I will see you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 1. This is your reading. We're looking at yes/no answers to whatever question you're asking today. And today I've got a yes for this particular question. I'm going to start up here with adjustment and the Prince of Wands. And I felt this was a decision-making process or a point where you'd come to or trying to balance up the situation in a way that allowed you to move forward in a much more creative and flexible fashion, to fulfill some sort of a path or a vision. I felt balance was needed for this situation to allow you to have a much more intuitive approach. I don't feel at this point in time here with the adjustment that things are supporting you to get to the next level of where it is that you want to be. I feel like you've reached some kind of a ceiling or a cap that's just stopping you from going next level. Maybe also the situation that you're in at this point in time doesn't add some kind of healthy counterbalance to where it is that you want to be or how is it you actually want to get there. I kind of feel like things are holding you back. Other demands are distracting you from your focus of what you really want here. I kind of feel like you're trying to keep other things going in a way that is very, I don't want to say draining, because I think you're actually managing to do this in a really balanced way in some ways. But at the same time, there's a pull that pushes you almost like in an opposite direction or a direction that you don't want to be going in. And then there's here with the Princess of Wands, it's like it's kind of like the real you in terms of what you want to be, what you want to do. It's more the authentic self or the truth of how you want to unfold in terms of where you're going. It kind of feels like it's me versus what other people expect of me. What society wants me to do or just what the situation wants me to do. I kind of feel like you want to break out of this. You want to break free of expectation. You know, ditching old ways of thinking and bringing in new ways of thinking. It's really about getting to the truth of where you want to go and how you want to do this. I just feel like you want to push onwards, but also upwards. Breaking the glass ceiling, that comes through really strongly for me. Authenticating what you do here is really important. I kind of felt this is very much about professionalizing the situation in a way where there just has greater integrity and that you're not bending, flexing to the other demands that are kind of pulling you almost in an opposite direction, or which don't favor or support you in a way to be clearly where you want to be. I think deep down, I feel a very creative surge here with the Queen, with the Princess of Wands. But I feel like this is beginning to flow in a way where there's sort of, yeah, it's a very creative surge. It feels like something's really pushing you up and on, and it's almost quite spiritual. Yeah, what is this? I kind of feel like this could be a job. It could be some sort of creative endeavor, artistic pursuit. How you're handling your life in some ways, more generally speaking. It's whatever it is that's going to suit you in terms of your interpretation. But yeah, it's it's very much about sort of like, like an old way of doing things versus a new way of doing things. Adjustment really has that societal pressure. It's really kind of looking at things from a very politically correct perspective, from a very judgmental point of view, from a way that is broadly accepted, as opposed to something that's maybe a little bit more individualized, unique, and which suits who it is that you really are as a person. Here with the Princess of Wands. And come over here to lust and swiftness, and I felt, things are kind of sort of moving along a little bit here. The energy continues to rise. This is much more in the here and now, and moving forward also into the coming months. I would have said, I felt a lot of creative energy coming up here with lust, and also with swiftness. I feel this is very fast flowing though. A lot of incoming information. Landing in front of you in a way that helps you to come to terms with your vision. I feel like this is clearly articulate, but I kind of feel like things are moving very quickly. Things are taking shape very quickly. The energy is pushing upwards. It's pushing your vision along. I feel that you're becoming much more passionate about this situation in a way where you can't keep yourself inside some little box anymore. It's like you have to bust out of that. It's about a new paradigm, really. There's a huge shift coming through here. Kind of, if you look from judgment sort of is very much about the decisive process, the reckoning of what it is and what it's going to take to do it or not to do it. Princess of Wands is definitely the creative surge, the energy, the vision, the truth of who it is that you are, kind of into this next layer of lust and swiftness, where it all really just becomes much more manifest. But it's all creative and it's all interpretive, and at the same time it's taking shape, is what I'm also saying. It's very specifically identifying what needs to be done next, and the next step is to move forward, but also to act very quickly on it. I almost feel here that like the universe has your back. It's seeing that this is what it is that you really want, and it's seeing that you've tapped your inner truth, and by doing that, you're kind of revealing an unfolding plan that starts to take shape very, very quickly. Everything is in motion. Everything's flying in from different angles in a way that makes sense, but it's hard to keep up with. You've got to keep on your toes. It's all in motion. The wheels are turning. It's all bubbling, and again, very, very passionate. I kind of feel it's almost like you're turning this into an artistic or a creative approach. It feels very deeply personal. It feels like you're professionalizing it. It feels like you're refining it. But you're also understanding of what you need to do to make it happen. I kind of feel in some ways what I'm trying to say here is that you're taking control of the situation, or probably more deeper than that. You're harnessing your own power, right? You're harnessing the power of the situation. It's like, it's moving very quickly. You're having to think fast. You're having to act fast, but at the same time, you're in control of it. And I feel like you're making the most out of this situation. I would have said over the coming months here that you're evolving at a really fast pace. Like you're growing really quickly here, and things are bubbling up to the surface in a way that if you actually had to stop and think about it, you'd probably lose your breath and freak out, right? But at the same time, I think because you're just kind of in the mode of action and really intuiting and accepting what's going on. I actually think that you're going to move with this very, very powerfully. Yeah, harnessing your own power and building it and building on it. Over here to the Sun and the Six of Science, I felt here, this is not an easy process, right? What I'm describing. It's easy to say words, but there is pain in this. And I think ultimately this pain will take you towards happiness. There's a lot of growth going on here, and growth is very uncomfortable for most people, for all of us. It takes us outside of our comfort zone. I think here on though, moving onwards from this point forward today, I feel that all roads are leading to Rome here with science. I kind of feel like everything is on track in a way where you've already made the decision. You're already moving forwards with it. Onwards and upwards is the only way forward. Otherwise, you're just going to stay in a situation that you don't really want to be in. And that doesn't make sense. Not for you. You're too honest for yourself. You're too honest of what it is that you're about and what it is that you do. Probably would say even more importantly that I think deep down there's something that's quite innate within you that needs to unfold, to reveal itself. Like this is a reveal of who it is that you really are as a person. I think by harnessing your own truth here, you're actually going to collect support. And when I say that, I mean other people will support you where you really need it. The universe has got your back here. But I felt more specifically that there would be somebody perhaps to confide in here. It could be a good friend, it could be a family member, it could be a mentor, it could be somebody professionally who really gets you, whatever it is to your situation. I just felt that there was somebody here to share your truth with, and that they would be on board with you in a way where they'd support you through this difficulty. When I say difficulty, I just mean the twists and turns, the pitfalls. I feel like there's somebody there in the balance that's got your back. And I think bigger than that, the universe has got your back. Letting yourself fully express, just to be you, is what this is all about for me. And it might be painful at times, but you'll move forward very quickly through this. I feel no pain, no gain, but I don't feel that it's going to be a long, drawn-out experience that makes you feel that you're having to labor through pain. All right. I feel a lot of what's going on here with these two cards, with the Sun and Science. There's a lot of healing that's coming through here, higher vibrations, that you're moving up into different frequencies, moving up a scale. Maybe you're, when I say that, breaking through the glass ceiling that I was describing before. The Sun is nurturing you. It's giving you the growth that you need. It's making you brighter. It's making you stronger. It's making you bigger. Yeah. Brighter days are in front of you. For me, this is a yes, and this is a confirmation that you are on the right path. Keep on doing what you're doing. You've already unfolded it. You're moving forwards. It's there for the taking, and most importantly, just be yourself, yeah? I don't really feel that you have to think about this too much. I kind of feel like it's more in the doing. It's more about jumping in passionately in your own truth and just letting it all rip, yeah? Just go for it. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of info about who it is that I am and what it is that I do right there. Thanks very much and take care. Hi there, welcome to card number 2. This is your reading, and we are looking at yes/no answers to your questions today. And I've got a no for this particular question. I'm going to start up here with the Empress and Truce. I feel like there are issues around productivity. I feel like this is getting in the way of productive outcomes, that you're failing to reach a target or a goal that's very specific in terms of your aims, your objectives. I feel here that you're really up for the task here with the Empress, really productive, industrious, fertile ground to try and make things happen. But here with Truce, I feel like you're reaching obstacles that could be very specific in terms of stopping you from reaching what it is that you're actually trying to achieve here. It could be, for some people, that there are people in the way, stopping you from trying to get to where it is that you want to be or to get the outcomes that you're looking to achieve. It could be that your circumstances for other people are just not supportive of what you're trying to achieve. That things keep on coming up in a way where you're just blocked from being able to reach this outcome. I feel like there's a lot of nurturing energy here with the Empress. You know, like I really feel this is something that you want to do. It's passionate. It's coming from a very deep and personal place, a very passionate place. I feel like you're giving a lot of love to whatever it is. You know, like you're giving of yourself to this situation. It's not just some kind of rational process. This is really important to you at a very deep and personal level. I feel like you're trying to make this situation right despite whatever it is that's in front of you, whatever it is that's stopping you from getting to where it is that you want to be. But I do feel like you've come to a point here with truth. It's like, you know, you're trying to make peace with this. I think you're taking time out, taking a step back, meditating on what's going on in a way where you're trying to get your head around new ways to tackle this particular problem. Trying to avert the situation that's stopping you from achieving this particular focus. A lot of reflection on solutions. You know, like you're very in your head about it. I kind of feel like you're not in the action of doing anything about things just at the moment. And if things have been in that kind of space, I feel like you're taking a step back and kind of, you know, pausing to reflect on what's going on. Everything feels a little bit exhausted, a bit sort of, I feel like your energy is very low. You know, like I feel like you've been giving it 100% the whole way through and that you haven't stopped until now. And I feel like you're kind of just exhausted everything. You've exhausted all avenues of trying to take this forward, all understandings of what it means to do this. So it's kind of like you know, a very recovery-based position. Trying to take a break from it, trying to let energy rise back up, trying to figure things out in a very reflective, maybe even in a very unconscious way. There's no growth right now. It doesn't feel like it's happening. And it feels like some sort of recovery is needed to regenerate whatever this is in a way for you to take it forward. But if I come over here to the Priestess and Indolence, the Eight of Cups, you know, this is kind of looking more in the here and now into the future. You know, like feel that this situation is going to develop into greater uncertainty. I don't feel the growth moving into a productive outcome here. I feel if anything, it's kind of more of the same, but it moves into a deeper stagnation, you know, that really begins to become a little bit toxic or a little bit clouded in a way that everything begins to spoil. I felt that your energy wasn't picking up here with us. You know, like you're feeding everything into this situation, but this situation is not feeding back into your way where you're energized. You know, you're not getting out what you're putting in. There's a lot of anxiety here. You know, the Priestess is a card about the future, and there's a lot of uncertainty with that card. And Indolence, it's a situation where there's a lack of clarity, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of bad habits are forming around this focus in the future. It feels like whatever the plan was that was in place from the initial stage of trying to make it happen, it just feels like now it's proving that it's just not working. You know, I feel that you're not gonna, like, it's like you're not letting up though. You're kind of in no man's land. It's a bit like literally when you look at these cards, it feels swampy, and it feels that you're going into some sort of a negative spiral about the situation because you're not giving up on it. And I think that's going to be really difficult for you to handle in a way where there's no joy in this experience. So you're going to look for different ways to find a feel-good factor to cope with the situation. And it could be that you compensate, with some kind of an indulgent that makes you feel better, to gratify you in a way where, it just gives you a break or a moment to it could be drinking, it could be taking drugs, it could be anything, it could be sex, it could be eating chocolates and sweets, or just kind of watching a lot of TV. I just feel like it's a really unconstructive. Is that even a word? And like there's a lack of construction in terms of being able to sort of engage with the situation in a way that actually takes you forward in a bolstered fashion, in a supportive fashion. I just felt that you had to be really careful here because this could get toxic. It could be that you grow a dependency on feeling better outside of this situation so that you can cope with it. And it's not really the answer. It's just a band-aid solution. I felt here as well in the balance, excuse me, I feel like you're going to get very lost with this situation. I feel like you're moving into a scenario where you also begin to give up on it. It's like you're losing hope, you're losing clarity, you're not seeing sense in what's going on. This also could be to do with other people if they're involved here with indolence. I felt that perhaps the involvement of other people directly with this particular experience, it could be that they're not constructive, they're not putting anything in that bolsters this in a way that gives you what it is that you want in terms of an outcome. It could also be that if you're looking for support from other people, that nobody really has anything constructive to say about what's going on, or that they can't lend a hand to you in a way that helps you to see sense of what it is that this is all about. I feel a lot of bad habits forming here. Also, there's no clear understanding of what it is that you need to do to get this on track. I kind of feel you're exhausted by this point, and that gets the better of you, and you're unable to really sort of look at this at the heart of matters. It's like getting to the truth of the situation and facing it for what it really is difficult. It's like you don't want to give up. You want to keep it going. And so I kind of feel there's a lack of acceptance, right? A lack of acceptance as to what you've got to work with. I feel coming down here to the Hierophant and futility, the Seven of Swords, this is offering advice more than it is anything else. I feel even with like really excellent structure and management to this situation in its current form, I feel like you'll continue on in a way where the situation meets you with an overwhelming set of obstacles. It's almost like the universe doesn't want you to make this happen, or that the circumstances are just not prevailing in a way that gives you the wind that you need in your sails to kind of get that home stretch. I felt that you could look to a much more supportive scenario in terms of managing what's going on, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say is I don't feel like any other kind of intervention is really going to get this on track. It's as though you're going against the grain. Yeah. I think at a sort of raw intuitive level, if you come back up here to the Empress and the Priestess, the Empress is coupled with truth. I think intuitively, that this is it, from a very base level right now. Moving into the future with the Priestess and indolence, I kind of feel it's more of the same. It's like you actually know deep down, if you listen to your instincts, your intuition, they're telling you what you need to know. But here with futility, it's almost like a refusal to give up because you've invested so much up to this particular point. And I felt that you needed to listen to the signs and rethink what's going, like just pushing against the grain and trying to make it happen for the sake of it. That's not going to get it over the finish line. It's time to admit defeat, right? It's time to admit defeat. And I felt like you needed to go back to the seed or the essence of what this is all about in a way that helps you to remap and restructure your approach. I feel like the seed of it, the essence of it, it will work in some other form, not in its current structure. I felt under its current guise that you needed to stop trying to patch things up with the way things are currently set up. The way to make this work is to completely restructure what's going on, to go back to the drawing board in some ways, to use the seed or the essence of what this is all about and to do it in a completely different way. And I felt that that would actually take you out or extract you out of this situation in a way that gave you an essence blueprint to work with in a way that actually just was sort of like a departure from this. So it's kind of 2.0 really. It's a no for me. I don't feel that things are working in this current situation, and I don't feel that this is a healthy exploration of what it's really all about. I think in essence there is something here that can work, but you need to rework it completely to make it happen in terms of success. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 3. This is your reading, and we are looking at yes/no answers to whatever questions you're asking today. And I've got a no to this one. I think you might be looking for a yes, but it is a no for me. Now I'm going to start here with the Chariot and the Princess of Cups. I feel like you've been swept off your feet, and it definitely feels like the idea of somebody and the idea of love. Princess of Cups is about love moving forward in a very mobile fashion. Matters of the heart, somebody coming into your world in a way that touches your heart. The Chariot, it's a card of success. It's driven very in a very straightforward fashion towards some kind of conclusion that, achieves a goal, specifically. I feel like this is love on foot, that it swept you off your feet and that things are moving very quickly. It feels very animated. I feel there is an overwhelmed nature of these two cards. I feel that you're in some kind of a whirlwind, that this person has really focused on you in a way that likes what it is that they see and definitely wants you. I feel that this is very strong in terms of the energy, almost a bit pushy in some ways. I don't feel like you've had a lot of time to think things through. I think you've become involved with this person, and that they're really into you in a way where they're kind of like, calling, texting, messaging you in a way that is really trying to keep up the momentum. Very, very pushy, very dynamic. And I felt that this was a very all-consuming situation. But at the same time, it's invigorating because I kind of feel like that attention's giving you a lot of feel-good factor. It's like, I'm on board with this. It's certainly going in a really nice direction. I feel good about myself. I feel like you're really attracted to this person. The energy that comes through here with the Chariot, it feels very, very handsome, good looking, very appealing, very, very attractive. It's kind of like knight in shining armor stuff, or it could be, the female version of that, or whatever version of it is to you. I just felt, without getting into sort of, gender, it's really, for me, feels like this is somebody who has taken your eye. And you're sort of thinking, yeah, I could really go there with this person. And I felt also this person was pushing you with gusto, trying to find your feelings throughout this process is difficult though, because things are moving very quickly. There's a lot of love and attention coming through here in a way that admires you, is wanting to do things with you, wanting to give things to you, wanting to figure you out, find out more about you. And this experience feels quite powerful. It's kind of lifted you off your feet, swept you off your feet. There's a dynamic of almost like a whirlwind nature that also distracts you from figuring things out at a much more intuitive level. It's almost like you're taken by this person. You're taken by how it is that they are with you. And I wonder whether you feel a little bit lost within yourself in terms of responding to this person, because it's all about you, And Not that it's about specific roles, but it feels quite one way. Yeah. If I look here to adjustment and strife, the Five of Wands, I felt that moving forward, I really do feel that there are certain facts that will come to light around this situation. Adjustment is definitely a card of assessing a situation in a way that deals with the ins and outs of a scenario with factual information, you know, stacking up the evidence of what's going on here. Strife is a card of competition, you know, like it's a card that splinters off the focus of this idea of a romance into something that becomes multi-layered. I felt there are other people around here. I'm not saying that this person is looking at other people. I just kind of felt, you know, it could be that this person just has a lot of different things going on in the balance here. You know, work, certain activities, maybe their social life. I kind of felt there were other people in the mix that were jostling for position to get the attention of this particular person. And I felt the experience of what you've had with them, I feel like begins to water down in a way. It's watered down by other factors that are going on for this particular person. I feel it's still a very passionate experience, but at the same time, I didn't feel you were so much the center of attention anymore. There's an imbalance here, yeah? An inconsistency based on the idea that there are lots of other distractions going on and that there are different agendas. There are other people in the background who want this person back on board in a way where they have a piece of the action, where they are not necessarily the center of attention, but that they're getting their bit out of this person in a way. This person's got a big personality, yeah? Over here with the Chariot. This is an overbearing personality at times. It feels big. When this person walks in the room, people look. You know, there is something energetic about them. Maybe there's something very attractive about them that just pulls in a gravity. They become the center of gravity. They become the center of attention. I felt that the romance had begun to fade a little bit and it was becoming harder work. It's like you're having to compete to get attention. You're having to jostle for it. You're having to push other people out the way. It's almost like the romance has faded into something that's a little bit more day-to-day and normalized in a way where the overall experience becomes a bit more draining. You know, you're not invigorated by being the center of attention anymore. You're actually competing for that. And that takes energy to keep up with. It takes energy to keep up with these other people, these other demands, these other experiences that are going on in the background and which center around this particular person. I'm not saying that you're becoming a third wheel, but I just kind of feel that it doesn't really maintain the momentum that is probably there right now and has been up to this particular point. And I felt that dealing with changes was going to be a constant over a fairly long period of time, maybe about 4, 5, 6 months. It's just like there's lots of things that are been thrown into the mix that scupper plans or distract this other person, or which make it complicated for you to feel that things are getting back on track, because I do feel that they've slightly come off track here. And also, I don't see you really kind of coming to terms with your feelings for this person. It's kind of going from full on to kind of, you know, different but still full on. It's like, where are you feeling in this? Where's your center of gravity? Who are you? What do you really want? And I come down here to the Empress and Sorrow, the Three of Swords. There is definitely pain here, you know. There is definitely pain in the balance, in the future, in terms of the outcome for me. And it's due to a lack of nurturing of this situation, due to a lack of nurturing of the relationship. I felt that here with the Empress, it's a card of motherhood in some ways, but it is a card of nurturing and productive outcomes. And I felt in some ways here with the Three of Swords, it's almost like the earth has been salted. Yeah, there's heartache here. You're constantly giving to this situation by this point, but this situation is not giving back to you in a way that gives you equal balance and fulfillment. And I felt that there was irreversible damage. You know, the Three of Swords is pain in the past. It's pain in the present. It's also pain in the future. It's perpetual. I felt your hopes to nurture this situation into something that actually could be balanced and which mirrored the potential of how it all started actually has been defeated by this point. Yeah. And I feel like you're getting exhausted around here. It's been so hard. It's been too hard and too fast in some ways. You've never really had a chance to feel things through in a way where you're at your center, where you are in balance with this other person. This person's energy is very full on. It's very coercive as well. I kind of feel in many ways that they have had an agenda since the beginning, that they've really wanted to get to know you. They really wanted to be with you. They really wanted to succeed in terms of having a thing with you. But that in itself is the agenda. How does this person really feel? Have they ever stopped to take a moment to understand what's going on for you, to put themselves on your side of the fence and to figure things out in a way that is a little bit more in touch? I kind of feel this person has a lot of ego. They have a desire for conquest. You know, they're very full on in going for something that they want to achieve, that they want to succeed in. And then they have this tendency to get what it is that they want. And once they've got it, they no longer desire it anymore. And then they move on. And I feel that is what the process is here. This person is in the process of trying to get you to where they want you to be. And then once they've got you, the reality is here with adjustment is that, okay, now I can go and do other things. Maybe that's not so important to me anymore. The fact that you were the center of attention at the beginning and now you've become just one of these other bit players says everything. You know, and so there's no sustainability in terms of true feeling for you in a way that actually mirrors the potential of something that is truthful and heartfelt. In many ways, I feel this person is actually quite insensitive, very guarded. You can see that here with the Chariot. And deep down, there is a vulnerability that they don't want to let anybody get close to. They want to feel that they can get whatever it is that they want at all costs. So it's a no for me. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense to you. And if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It would be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 4. This is your reading and we're looking at yes/no answers to whatever questions you're asking today. I get a yes to this particular question. I feel like it's an exciting yes. I feel like this is definitely the right direction. If I come up here to the Hangman and the 6 of Swords, I felt that you are holding back from moving forwards on something. I feel like you're staying in control of the situation by refusing to let go of whatever it is that's happening around you. It's like I feel like you're trying to stay in control of everything. That you're doing this alone, that you don't have the right kind of support either from people or circumstances that gives you the confidence to actually move forward at this particular time. I feel like you're pausing and reflecting. Definitely, I can see that here with the Hangman. Very internalized card of trying to understand things at a deeper level in a way that makes sense to you, but also there's a slightly creative spark there. I kind of feel that whatever it is that would ignite you to move forward, it really needs to resonate at a very deep level that has some kind of capacity to kind of, you know, catapult you in a very creative or creatively unfolding way. You know, like it has to be right. It has to be resonant from a very deep level that's almost, I wouldn't say spiritual, but it kind of feels like it has to make sense to you. And unless that's there, you're going to stay put. You're not going to move forward. I just don't feel like you want to make that kind of a sacrifice. Maybe giving up your position at this particular time. There's too much risk involved. You know, it's not a clear path, or it's not a clear map to move forward on. I think by staying where it is that you are right at this point in time, it gives you the ability to go deeper into the experience so that you can get a greater understanding of what's actually right for you for the longer term. I felt here with the Six of Swords, there wasn't anybody else to give you the kind of support that you needed at this time. I felt that the circumstances that underpinned this situation, I felt maybe you didn't trust them, or that you didn't trust the people that were involved with what was going on. I don't feel like other people have understood your point of view. And when you've tried to gain favor, or you've tried to gain an understanding from other people, I don't feel like it's like they're not getting you. They're not getting why or how or what you're all about, or what you're trying to achieve here. So by kind of like sort of pausing and stopping and reflecting, it gives you the ability not only to try and understand it at a deeper level of what to do next, it's also about waiting things out, you know, waiting for the right kind of support, maybe the right kind of people to be involved with, or the right kind of circumstances and opportunities to support you to get to the next point of where you feel more comfortable and confident about where this is all heading. I feel like you're doing it alone at this point in time. You're sticking to your guns, you're holding and maintaining your position in a way where I think maybe to other people it doesn't make sense, but to you it does. And I think you're okay with that. I don't feel like you have a problem with what other people think about how you're doing this at this point in time. I felt this could be a career pathway or a job opportunity. It could be a lot of different things, but that was something that really came to my mind. I feel over here with art and the Prince of Wands, in the balance, I think things are going to really change for you in a very dynamic way. I felt the situation I've just described here, which is a little bit gritty. It doesn't feel like it's got your back. It doesn't feel like it's supporting you. It feels like maybe there's been some problems there in a way that have caused you to bunker down, to go into safety mode, to look after yourself in a way that shields off from everything around you. I feel over here with art, you know, like I kind of feel like you've come to terms with things, that this situation has healed itself in many ways. Things are much more fluid. And here with the Prince of Wands, I kind of feel like a new opportunity avails itself and really opens up this vista, this vision, into the distance in a way that says, green light, you know, this is the way forward. This is an opportunity that will move you forward and really give you some kind of room to grow and to kind of energize yourself with. I felt like you had seen the vision, felt the vision, understood what it really meant in a way where you could get on board with it. Yeah. And I felt like there are other people and things going on here in a way that really collaborate with you, collaborate with your understanding, your perspective. I felt you've got a very unique point of view. Yeah. I feel like your perspective is very important here, that you hold a key, or you maintain some kind of understanding that really helps to kind of creatively unlock this potential to do something quite big that really takes you off into the distance. And over here, I kind of felt that you're integrating a lot of different stuff. Opportunities that obviously this opportunity that I'm describing is one part of it. I feel like other people and the circumstances or the fabric of what's going on here really integrates into your understanding, into your point of view. And it creates this enormous potential of what is possible. I feel very confident here around this next step. It kind of feels like you're in this kind of flow or the swing of something that is really kind of frog leaping you forward into the future. I felt travel was potentially, like a possibility here. I felt that maybe this opportunity would take you overseas or take you far and wide. I kind of feel like it's opening up a vision. It's certainly opening up new horizons, but I felt definitely travel was possible here. I also felt here your understanding through this process really is a big part of what I'm describing. It's like you're integrating other aspects of things that you hadn't anticipated. It's fueling you. Like, it's not just about your point of view. It's about what this situation has to offer for you in a way that really supports you to grow, yeah? And to come to terms with what you're like as a person in this kind of situation. How it is that you derive sustenance, how you feed off a situation, whether it's people, whether it's stimulus from the opportunity, like you're learning an enormous amount throughout this period. It invigorates you, it energizes you in a way that just kind of, it gives you more than you're actually putting in some ways, you know, like it's a very rewarding experience, yeah. Down here with the Priestess and the Three of Wands, you know, like I think the long-term impact is really positive for me. I felt that this opportunity in the balance that I see you jumping on board with after waiting out this period of time to find that opportunity, it's kind of like you're opening the right door, right time, right place, right opportunity. And it just kind of like this catapults you into a longer term future opportunity that really unfolds this enormous potential as to who it is that you are and what it is that you do. I felt further doors would open from this opportunity into the future down here with the Priestess and Three of Wands. Everything crystallizes, but at the same time, I kind of feel like everything broadens out. Your understanding broadens out. I feel the way you work at a very deep creative level becomes quite mastered. It's like you are not having to think about things so much by this point. You've kind of almost reached a deep level of understanding of how you do this in a way where it becomes very intuitive. And that in itself allows you to unfold this creative talent exponentially. And like it's quite big, you know, like it's visionary stuff for me. I feel like your vision is in full capacity, and that by this point you're on fire and you're also on center stage. Your energy, your ambition, the people around you, the circumstances, they all support you and co-align in a way where everything becomes so much easier. It's like you're flying by this point, right? Also, I think if I come back up a little bit up here to art and the Prince of Wands, you know, like, yeah, in the balance, I think things are really amazing. But, you know, by the time you get down here to this point, everything's crystallized. Everything's crystallized. Everything's expansive. What was unclear before is certainly crystal clear now. It's like, you know, you have such far-reaching vision, far-reaching understanding of what you're about, where this can go, you know, and everybody's on board with it in a way where I think it becomes super exciting. So doors definitely opening into the future as a consequence of this. I felt here there are a lot of overlapping opportunities. It's kind of it's a multi-layered single opportunity that has, I guess, splintered opportunities that come off of that. I kind of feel like one door opens and another door opens. One opportunity comes into play and something comes off of the back of that is what I'm trying to describe. It's like, you know, it's coming alive. It's getting bigger. It's moving forward. It's unfolding into an expansive. So for some of you, I felt that whatever this is, that it could go really big, right? It could blow up. It could be global, you know, international. It could go viral even. You know, it just kind of feels big for me. So it's a definite yes. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care.